When I graduated high school, I didn't even take a summer vacation. I went straight to Lincoln Technical Institute in Union, New Jersey. And this was in 1980, the summer of 1980. Graduated high school, went straight to tech school. My parents at the time, they're factory workers, and so I had to pay for my own school. So while I was going to school full time, first I was paying my school by delivering pizza and working in pizzerias, and then I got a job at a dairy. Tuscan Dairies was at the time in Union, New Jersey, working second shift. So I'd go to school from 7 to 1 or 1:30, and I would start second shift and work till midnight, go home, get some sleep, and the next day everything started all over again. I went all the way through, paid for school, graduated school. The day I graduated school, back then it cost $3,500 for the course. And after I graduated school, and I actually had to quit the full-time position at the dairy to get into the field. And I was making pretty good money, believe it or not, working at night and going to school. I had to quit that job to make minimum wage to get in the field, you know. But then my parents came through and gave me a check for $3,500. And at the time, I almost wanted to kill them, because they made me work full-time to pay for school. But I really appreciate that today, because when I was in high school, I was a good student, but I really didn't concentrate, you know. Like regular teenager, didn't care much. And when I went to technical school, now here I am, a kid, and having to pay $3,500 in 1980, that to me was a lot of money. And so I was there every day and learning as much as I could, because it was coming out of my pocket. And when they gave me that check, I didn't know if I would laugh, cry, or just, and today I tell that to my kids, you know, and I appreciate that a lot, because that actually made me concentrate and do 110%. Yeah, you have to work for, it's not the same when you're given something, and when you have to work for something, it doesn't matter if it's an old car, whatever it is, it's yours. You worked for it. My best friend at the time was going to air conditioning school, and we did everything together. His name just happened to be Tony also, so we were the TNT. And that was, we went into business together and started TNT Refrigeration. So that's how it all began. From there, later on, I went on my own and opened ABM Air Conditioning out in Newark, New Jersey. And that went on for quite a bit, some years. When you start off in business, it's not, you're hoping to build something, and you're hoping that someday you have enough customers that you can get up and go to your office and take care of your customers. But it doesn't start off like that. You know, you got to go out there, knock at doors, pass a lot of flyers. You're a one-man band show, you know. You're going out there and trying to get everything done. So I had to get a job at night to support myself and my family to start the business. Eventually, I was able to let that job go and just concentrate, but there had to be at least enough to put food on the table, you know, in order to do that. But it's not easy. But I would have to say you have to love what you're doing. This, to me, is my life. And I don't consider it a job, because if it was, I would have quit a long time ago, because the money's not there for all the hours that I put in. But I tell my customers this to me is a hobby. When it becomes a job, I'm going to retire. It's not worth it, so it's got to come from in here. Otherwise, it just doesn't add up. It's got to be terrible when you get up in the morning and go to a job that you hate, that you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. I actually get up in the morning, and my wife actually laughs at me, because I get up and I start singing, I-O, I-O, and off to work I go, I-O, I-O. And she laughs at me. She goes, how do you get up already smiling? And says, what are you going to do? You got to go, you know. And I guess it all goes back to enjoying what you do, you know, enjoying the people you work with. it makes a world of a difference. You need to love what you're doing, because if you go figure out the hours you're putting into this job, you're probably your worst paid employee. So you definitely need to love what you're doing, because you're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day in most cases. We go home and business continues. My phone is on 24 hours a day. Even when I'm sleeping, the phone goes off and it's business as usual. You know, we offer 24-hour service. So I'm gonna be honest with you, in this business, you can be the best technician, and if you're not a good business person, a good businessman, you're not gonna make it. So it actually takes almost a dual personality, you have to be good in business and good in your professional field. And that's where also I give thanks to my wife, because when we started this business, she was the person involved with the office part of it and the management and the paperwork. So without her, there wouldn't be an all Volusia and Flagler heating in there, because I definitely wouldn't be able to do it by myself. You know, I tell my kids this and young people, you gotta have a dream and you have to work hard, because dreams don't just happen, you have to make them happen at times, you know. Goals don't just happen, you have to set them and you have to make them happen. And the only way to do that is to work hard.